Hello, it's 10 o'clock. Welcome to the weather update, July the 5th, 2021. And I've got a throbbing headache, and you see why? Look at all the smoke that we're dealing with. I'm sure you've been noticing, especially as we got later on in the day. It really got thick, and it was pretty uncomfortable. You could see some thunderstorm activity over in Connecticut. We're going to have to watch this as a severe threat for tomorrow. But there you go. Look at all that haze there and that satellite. That's all smoke right there. In fact, I'll just pause this. Can we pause this? Yeah, here's the pause button. I'll show you how bad it was, especially as we got to it later on. Just look at that there. So you could see really a lot of smoke around today. And, I said this was going to happen. Of course, no one else is talking about the smoke, of course. But yeah, this is smoke from the fires burning in Canada. And this is the kind of air mass that we're getting. The air mass we're getting, actually, we're getting a piece of that heat dome that was over British Columbia. So we're going to be getting a piece of that heat dome. So that's what it looked like this evening here. You could see this is actually, I went to the South Shore where it was a lot better. And actually, my headache went away when I was on the South Shore because there was a nice breeze there. The minute I come back to the middle of the island, my headache returned with a vengeance. So you could see, yeah, there's the sun setting over Twin Ponds there in Wansaw. And you could see clearly that, yeah, there's a lot of haze there in that sun. And here it is from the Wansaw train station. Look at that. And you could see as the sun got lower in the sky, boy, you could see it. This is Rockville Center. Look at that. So, again, the smoke was really thick toward the evening. You can really clearly see the smoke. And, the fact that no one's talking about it is just atrocious. Just goes to show you, again, all the climate deniers we have, especially in the local media. So let's go and look at the current conditions outside right now. We'll actually do underground first. Let's do that. So you get an idea that it is cooler on the South Shore here. I got low 70s, middle of the island more like mid 70s. It's not a huge difference, but the air quality just seems better on the South Shore versus the middle of the island. And it's humid. If you look at the dew points, you'll see dew points are up there around 70 degrees. And it's quite warm. So let's see what it was like in Carl Place today. 74.2 right now, so it's a very muggy night. We're in that warm air mass. Hit 82.9 degrees, and you'll see here that we had temperatures generally in the 80s for much of the day until the evening. And that's why I went to the South Shore where it was much cooler. It was only in the low 70s, much better on the South Shore. Let's go take a look and see what it was like in Rockville Center. Which is Oceanside, Rockville Center. Yeah, use this one. That's fine. So I compare this to the South Shore. Now, of course, some of these stations may read a little high. We have to keep an eye on that. Yeah, it was cooler. You could see how the sea breeze came after 3 o'clock, dropped the temperature down to the upper 70s. See that? Can use another station. We'll use that one in Seaford here. So much better on the South Shore. Should load. That would be great. It's already cooler there than it is here, by a couple of degrees. So, yeah, it got up into the 80s actually there. It did get warm to the 80s, but then it dropped later on as the sea breeze came in. Let's head further out east. Let's go to Babylon, where I'm sure it was even better. Yeah, the Babylon Village. Let's see what it was like in Babylon Village. Sure, much better sea breeze there. 72.7. Waiting for this to load. I don't want to spend too much time on these observations. This station doesn't seem to ever go. So it hit 80 degrees, and then it dropped into the 70s. So a lot better. Pretty representative of what things were like on the South Shore. So it's definitely cooler on the South Shore. Look at North Patchogue as well. And I'm sure he had a sea breeze today, too. I mean, we had a breeze in Mineola. It just wasn't like it was on the South Shore. That's for sure. Say 872. So 77. He didn't even get to 80 degrees. So there you go. Only 70s today. So, again, with that south wind, that helps. But here in Mineola, it's a different story. And if you go up to Lake Grove or Nesconset, you'll see it was warmer probably. We'll look at Nesconset, where I'm sure it was warmer there. Again, it's more toward the North Shore. 79 actually, so it's cool. Must have been cooler in Suffolk County than Nassau because it was warm here. But still, you can always go someplace that's even warmer than that. And we'll take a look at New Jersey in that desert area, which I'm sure was hot as hell today. Here we go. Let's see. I'm sure they got into the upper 80s. Maybe they even hit 90 degrees in Toms River. Right now it's about the same, but let's see what it got up to today. So 89.6, yeah, almost 90 degrees there in Toms River. So, yeah, much hotter there. Not surprisingly. Much hotter. So we'll look at some of these other observations here. All right, let's go to this. Yes, we have heat advisory in effect, air quality alerts. Let's look at what the high temperatures were today on this map. Oh, it's a whole lot of waiting. I know these weather sites are slow because a lot of people are using them now. So, yeah, highs around 80, but warmer in the middle of the island, cooler on the south shore, but even by a little bit, but whatever, you can feel the difference. And the city, 84 at LaGuardia. Let's see what Central Park got up to. Well, I said it's average for this time of the year. Highs in the mid-80s is about average for July. 83 at Central Park. 81 at JFK, and then we go into Jersey, where I'm sure, yeah, much hotter there. Yep, around 90 in Toms River, not surprisingly. So, yeah, so we got these air quality alerts in effect. Let's take a look at those. Heat advisory also in effect. So let's read the heat advisory first for our area. So heat advisory is going to be in effect from 11 a.m. Tuesday to 8 p.m. Wednesday. So we have 2 days to deal with this. And hot temperatures, high humidity. So heat advisory is in effect for these areas, all right? And you combine that, we've got an air quality alert in effect as well. Seems to be mostly Connecticut, but I would assume that it would be, this is for ozone. And again, we got the smoke around too. Again, a lot of it's at the upper levels, but I really do think there's some down here too, because I can just feel it. I know when that smoke is around. It has gives the air a certain thick quality to it that's not pleasant at all. And definitely dealing with that smoke. The other thing that we're going to have to deal with is a severe threat as well for tomorrow as well. So let's go to the day 2 convective outlook here. And you will see that our area, Long Island, and the northern part of New Jersey, New York City, Connecticut, and a lot of New England is in a slight chance of severe weather for tomorrow. And marginal around outside of that. So we're going to look at that. We're going to look at why this is going to be happening when we go and we look at the models. All right. Looking at the current radar right now, you can see here is that severe weather, that complex that is going to get closer to our area tomorrow. All right. And again, this is all associated with this air mass that's coming out of Canada. It's a hot air mass. It's not a cool air mass. That we're going to be getting. So again, I want to look at this, show you all the smoke here, so you can see all the smoke. It looks like maybe they're getting some rain over there. Maybe I see some clouds, so maybe they're getting some rain. But the smoke is going to be with us for the next couple of days. You clearly see the smoke all over us today. All right, and we had some clouds in the morning and then less clouds in the afternoon, but it was hazy, and it wasn't a nice day at all, unfortunately. The other thing that we got to deal with is Elsa. So tropical storm Elsa has weakened. Maximum sustained winds are 50 miles an hour. So let's go look at the latest on tropical storm Elsa. Latest public advisory as of 8 p.m. Elsa passing just east of Havana, Cuba, with heavy rains expected to move over near the Laurel, Florida Keys on Tuesday as of 8 p.m. Its location 22.9 north, 81.9 west, about 30 miles east of Havana, Cuba, about 115 miles south of Key West, Florida. Maximum sustained winds 50 miles an hour. Moving northwest at 13 miles an hour. Minimum central pressure 1,008 millibars, or 29.77 inches. So let's go to the cone right now, and we'll look at that. Here is your cone, and again, my concern is it's going to regain some strength once it gets back out over the water after it's done with Cuba, and it could pick up some strength. Will it become a hurricane again? Probably not, but it could regain some strength, and it's going to make landfall somewhere on the west coast of Florida between up to the Panhandle, and then it's just going to weaken to a depression, and then it could become an extratropical storm, But you can see how it goes sort of just south of us. But it's going to be a long track over land, so I would assume it would lose a lot of its tropical characteristics by the time it gets here. It's not a very intense storm. We're going to look at it here on the satellite, and you'll see here the convection firing up, though. So once it gets back out over the water, that's my concern. And it's slowing down, so it's going to have more time to pick up some more energy once it does that. Let's go to the models, I guess. And we'll look at see what's going to be happening as we head into tomorrow. And we'll just locally... Well, we'll... So, what did I just do? Alright, let me go back to this. Okay, so... Here's the GFS. I'll keep it in this CONUS view for now so you get an idea of what's going to happen. So you have this little trough that's going to be coming through tomorrow. That could spark some of the storms for us. Here's Elsa, and you can see it gains strength once it gets back out over the water again. It's a very small-looking storm, very compact. And then it makes that landfall around the Florida Panhandle. And then the remnants of that, whatever's left of that, could ride up along this stall front that we're going to be dealing with. And actually, it does now take those remnants right up the coast, the GFS for Friday, and bringing us a lot of rain, perhaps. Of course, that could change between now and then. But it could bring us a lot of rain on Friday. And then we're just dealing with stall front syndrome again. So... Let's go take a look at what this wind field looks like on here. We're going to take a closer look at the GFS as we look at Elsa here. So the track seems to be, again, fairly good agreement on the track. The intensity is what we'd have to worry about here is the wind field. And you can see the wind field is pretty intense, and it does gain a lot of strength once it gets back out over the water again. And that is going to be a concern. And I really do think we're going to see that by this time tomorrow, a much stronger storm. Just looking at that wind wrap up like that. And now we can use a lot of different models. You can use the NAM 12 as well. But they all seem to agree on this strengthening that's going to occur once it gets back out over the water again. So, again, the whole west coast of Florida, pretty much the Keys and the west coast of Florida have to watch this storm. And that's why tropical storm warnings are. I believe tropical storm warnings are in effect for that area now. If I'm not mistaken, I'll go back to the NHC, but I'm pretty sure they are. Sorry, my headache is so bad. It's not making me. Yeah, tropical storm warning is in effect for the whole west coast of Florida, including the Keys. Yep. So that'll have to be watched. Let's go back to the northeast now and take a look at our weather. We'll go to the HRRR. And look at the zeros the HRRR run. And I want to look at the temperatures as we head into tomorrow, because things are going to be heating up, which is not what any of us want to hear. And you can see it's going to be hot. Most of the heat's going to be over Jersey, the city. You can see those bright purple over parts of Nassau County, parts of the North Shore. Still think we're going to make it to 90 in Mineola, but you have a better chance of making it even higher than that on the North Shore, places like Port Washington and Great Neck. Now, according to this, it looks like that there is a decent sea breeze developed, so that would have a tendency to keep Long Island cooler. Looking at the way this temperature profile is, but then that little trough comes through, and then we die with more of a. Well, actually, no. Wednesday actually now is keeping Long Island away from the worst of the heat too, so that's very good. If the HRRR is correct, we won't have to deal with any 90s on Wednesday, with a pretty strong sea breeze. But if you're in Jersey, you're going to be dying with 90s. Probably mid to upper 90s in Toms River, where it could be mid 80s in Islip or less than that. So, yep, New Jersey is going to die the next couple of days, but it looks like Long Island may catch a break from the worst of the heat. Let's go look at the dew points here, because this shows you the wind profile, and you can see it starts off kind of westerly in the morning, but then in the afternoon it goes more south-southwesterly, and that southerly component is what's going to, I think, protect us from the worst of the heat. And then we have that southerly component again on Wednesday. You see, though the wind is not quite as strong. Well, looks like it is fairly strong, I guess. You can see that southerly component. So that's what the HRRR seems to think. Of course, the GFS might be different as far as the temperatures go. Other models might be different when it comes to that. So I am going to look at the GFS for temperatures. And GFS is similar look on the GFS, but it has Wednesday being warmer. So GFS seems to think maybe a little more of a westerly flow if we were to look at these winds. Yeah, slightly more westerly flow on Wednesday. So, but I still think Long Island may catch a break here. At least I'm hoping we will, at least from the heat perspective. And then if we put this back to the temperatures, you'll see once we get toward Thursday, it's over. We're not dealing with the heat anymore. So let's go to the NAM. Let's go back to the HRRR, actually, 0Z run, and let's go look at the precipitation mode and see what kind of thunderstorms it's going to develop, and then we're going to have to look at vent to sky and look at cape levels and things like that. And of course the smoke will be around. That's, without. Now the HRRR, it doesn't really generate anything until later in the evening, so like 8, 9 o'clock, that's when it would start developing possibly some severe thunderstorms over us with this bit of this like little trough of energy here that comes through. And that's when it could possibly develop some severe weather. And it looks like it would develop it actually more toward the south shore and not a little north shore. But again, this is just a model. It's very hard to pinpoint exactly where the thunderstorms would develop. But that's what it looks like for Wednesday. And then as we get into Tuesday, and we get into Wednesday, we see more thunderstorms pop up again. Because a hot, humid air mass, you're going to have that. Now, I think, obviously, with the heat in Jersey, I think it's definitely more favorable to see this kind of activity in Jersey versus Long Island. Now, let me look at the NAM 3-kilometer run from 18Z and see what the NAM has, because I'm sure that they kind of have a different look. Yeah, the NAM, much more impressive with this line, and it really has a really nice-looking line moving through around 8 o'clock with purples. So it really has a really intense line. It does have a tendency to break it up as it moves it further south, but it has this line coming right from the north, and that is a good angle for a severe weather event. To have that line move in at that particular angle would be really impressive, to say the least. And I think that may be that's the time period right now we're watching for. It's only around that 8 o'clock time frame. And then Wednesday, we could do it again, right around the same time. You could see another little line developing with another little trough coming down there. So we'll have to watch this for sure. And let me go to vent to sky now, and we will. Well, let me look at the sky cover first. The sky cover, because obviously we're gonna have the smoke around. That's without saying, but you'll see that we will have sunshine tomorrow. It'll be hazy sunshine, but we'll have plenty of sun, which is going to help destabilize things. And then the same thing on Wednesday, plenty of sun. Probably not a nice blue sky with all that haze from the smoke, but plenty of sun. And, of course, the humidity will be with us as well. Let's go to vent to sky now. We're going to look at some of these parameters for thunderstorms for tomorrow. We'll move this to Tuesday. And we'll start with 11. All right, looking at Cape here, and you can see the Cape numbers are already pretty favorable. And then look at 2 o'clock, it gets even more favorable. All right, 5 p.m., 8 p.m. 5 p.m. it's already not as favorable. 2, 5, you're gonna have quite a good amount of instability in the air. And then we go to the lifted index, you'll see a lot of instability. So we're gonna have a lot of instability in the air. And that is definitely favorable for seeing these thunderstorms develop. And that's why I wouldn't be surprised if our area goes under a severe thunderstorm watch for tomorrow. And if you were to look at the precipitation, this is for tomorrow. It doesn't really have anything around 2. What about around 5? Should be showing up. Something should be showing up. Something is wrong. Maybe, all right. So there it is around 8 o'clock. You can see it doesn't really develop the storms until later. I'm thinking we may see some breakaways earlier on, but this is 8 o'clock. You can see some thunderstorms here. This is, again, using the HRRR model, and you can see, look at what it does. Once actually it has the action more toward 11 p.m. Interestingly enough, on this particular run of the HRRR, whatever it might be using a different run, but it's that evening hours that we could see some pretty good thunderstorm activity, and we're going to have to keep an eye on this. And again, it's more likely later in the evening versus during the day that we're going to see this. Let me go to the temperatures now. So this is the temperatures for 2 o'clock for tomorrow, and you can see has a totally different look versus tropical tidbits. Very interesting that it has a much warmer look to it with more of that horrible westerly flow for tomorrow. So will we catch a break? I think you could catch a break if you're in Suffolk County, but Nassau, that's why we're under the heat advisory, obviously. Unless you're on the South Shore, I don't think you're catching a break. If we get lucky, but you can see here that it's a much stronger southerly flow as you get later on in the day. 4, 6, you can see the southerly flow continue to accelerate, but you can also see some convergence over here. All right, and that's our concern with that convergence. There could be a sea breeze front that could touch off some storms. Let's go to the Wednesday here. So Wednesday is a little cooler, believe it or not. It does have Wednesday being a little cooler. It has tomorrow being the hottest day, and not so much Wednesday. Because there's more of a southerly flow tomorrow on Wednesday, and so it's a little better than originally forecast. All right, but let's go look at the thunderstorm threat for Wednesday here. Cape levels not quite as favorable. It's mostly over toward the west. Right around. I guess I spoke too soon. Look at 2 o'clock. There's some impressive Cape levels here. So the instability is there for thunderstorms. But if we go and we look at the actual forecasts, you see it's not really forecasting any storms at that particular time, but any storms that would develop could be strong, so it may be underdoing the amount of storms we're going to see pop up. I want to go back to tropical tidbits, actually, for you. And, of course, the air quality is going to be terrible, so we're going to, you can see here, we got some unhealthy. This is, let me go back up to Tuesday here. So it actually doesn't have it too bad. But again, this is not really picking up on the smoke. I don't think it is, because I'm already feeling the effects of the smoke, and it's there. Trust me. How can it not be there? You saw it right on the satellite image. Let me go back to tropical tidbits, and I want to go to the a couple of parameters for tomorrow. All right, and what we're going to do is we're going to plug in 18Z. I guess they see this problem with the GFS. It doesn't give me enough. Let me go to the NAM. The NAM now. I have a little more for the NAM. Or in that afternoon parameters. I want to click on this and get. Oh, this doesn't let me do it. Yeah. See, so not every model lets us do that. Only some models that do. All right. Yeah. A sounding. All right, because this can help us also determine instability as well. Yeah. Yeah, it looks unstable, all right. So, yeah, we have an unstable air mass for tomorrow, and that's what I figured. So, you're gonna have to watch out, all right. It's not really having the storms getting going until later, but just be advised that I think any time from 2 o'clock on, you could see the chance of a thunderstorm. Obviously, the best chance is going to be 8 o'clock with the peak of the instability, but. It's going to be the recipe for, I would not be surprised, and I fully expect a severe thunderstorm watch to be issued for our area tomorrow. And the conditions, like I said, are very favorable for it. And with the heat and the humidity and a little instability, it's all it takes. So that's going to wrap up this weather update. If there is any severe weather, if I can't put a video up about it before it hits, I will certainly put up a community post if there are any storms around. Yeah, I do have a video from over the weekend of some threatening clouds that I have not put up yet, so I have to put that up tonight because it was on Saturday. No, it was on Friday, I believe. We had those threatening clouds, but I had no service, so I couldn't upload it. So that's going to be it for this update. Thanks for watching. Stay cool. It's going to be a brutal one tomorrow. Have a good night.